This is NDDC Today.
Good evening, and we're glad you can join us. Now, at what point would you actually begin to rate the NDDC? Would you say in the past 20 years there has been no smart head of management to direct the NDDC the way it should go? Are we saying that it's always been bereft of the ideas necessary to develop the Niger Delta? Have some executive tried and failed? Can we look back at their efforts and say, well, they started out well, but they didn't end up well? At what point would we begin to actually compare the performance of the NDDC with other federal government commissions or even state governments? At what place can we say in the Niger Delta that even all the states of the Niger Delta have used all their resources, and we can see visible examples of it in the citizens of the Niger Delta? Many say there are many militating circumstances in operating anything public in Nigeria. We know about the inherent discrepancies and corruptions and so on that make achieving anything almost impossible. Can we say, for example, that the NDDC is above all of these things? Well, the NDDC is there, and we note that no management so far has been able to outlive it 4 years. Continuity has been very difficult. Now, these facts have not been lost on the current IMC and on the acting managing director, Professor Keme Brandikuma Ponde, who recently analyzed all that he has seen in the NDCC and has come out with a new roadmap to see what it can do to position the commission in such a way that it can at least be seen to actualize the reason for its setting up. According to Professor Ponde, the new roadmap, which is in line with the vision for economic diversification, job creation, and rapid industrialization of the federal government, is predicated on developing a massive human resource potentials of the over 30 million people of the region through job creation, innovation, and industrialization. Conceptualizing and developing bold new infrastructure as a bulwark of economic linkages for Niger Delta communities will be a must in this new roadmap. The roadmap is supposed to be launched in a couple of weeks' time. I'm Patrick Oke. Welcome to NDDC Today. So while the roadmap is still in the works, the NDDC is still working. We visited Imo State recently, one of the non-oil producing states which has a large NDDC presence, where we found that the Commission has just completed and donated a cottage hospital in Osu local government area of that state, and other road projects, as our correspondent now reports.
The fact remains that the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC has always been cognizant of its mandate to intervene with meaningful and life-impacting developmental projects across the oil-producing states in the Niger Delta region. Imo, a state comprising of 27 local government areas with a population of over 4 million people, has always enjoyed the attention of the NDDC in the areas of developmental projects that has impacted on the living conditions of people of the state, be it in the area of potable water, electrification, healthcare, agriculture, education, as well as construction of roads to open up many communities within the state. One of the banes of Nigeria's healthcare system is the lack of basic infrastructure, a challenge the Niger Delta Development Commission has taken upon itself to help improve upon, to help in the health needs of the Niger Delta people.
They said health is wealth. When you don't have good health, how will you achieve your aims? It has been a thing of joy to women, to men, and to children. They have saved a lot of souls that would have died.
Here in Osu local government area of Imo State, the NDDC recently constructed a 20-bed health center at Udem Imehi, with all facilities put in place to provide adequate healthcare delivery to the people. Apart from the health center building, the nurses' quarters are also fully furnished and equipped with all the necessary paraphernalia to complement the facility. It is expected that the facilities will be formally commissioned soon and handed over to the healthcare authorities in the local government for adequate operations.
We thank God that a new building has arrived in our health center from NDDC, and they will build it, equip it fast without wasting time, with 20 beds, and where nurses here we can pack their things and leave.
While thanking the NDDC for the construction of the health center, the Uche Nchemba of Imehi, Eze Lazarus Eze Fedu, who was represented by Chief Ichechimeze Gabriel, noted that it was a thing of joy to have the health center sited in Udem Imehi community.
I'm happy, and the Imehi in general is happy about this because Nigerian government, Imo State government, they did better for us, and we are happy, and we are congratulating them. Also, the president of Nigeria, NDDC, lost us. So as they did this, they saw that our old walls, our old buildings is now somehow, but then come and do a new one for us. We are happy to receive government, and we are happy to receive the president of the country.
Away from health matters, residents in and around the Uwazurike La Amistad Road in Owerri Municipal Council can now heave a sigh of relief after the rehabilitation and reconstruction of their road by the NDDC. Commenting on the road construction, the site engineer noted that they were able to successfully complete the road because of the cooperation they received from members of the community.
So friendly. When we came on board, it was like a messiah that came for them, because this road, most of the people, this is their major entrance, so it was no-go area. But when they saw us, they were all happy. They tried to cooperate with us. They gave us the help they could, and today all of them are smiling.
A resident of the community noted that before the NDDC came on board to salvage the situation of Uwazurike La Amistad Road, the situation had become so bad that several sections of the road were filled with potholes, leaving residents to wallow in the pains because of the difficulty they faced driving to their homes.
When it rained, it would be waterlogged, it would be undulating, and then a lot of potholes. It was nearly impossible. But we were managing, like most of our roads around here. But what we have now is a tarred road. We now cruise to our houses.
Another resident of the area, Mr. Kelechi Nelson, told the NDDC Today crew that the recently recovered road has enhanced the rapid development of the area, causing landed property in the vicinity to have appreciated more than before.
It has brought forward more development to this area, and the property around this area has appreciated more as a result of the construction of this road.
Also speaking on the road, Chief Ralph Uwazirike highlighted the need to award NDDC contracts to deserving contractors that would ensure that the project was delivered on time for the use by the yearning communities.
This contractor is the type of person that should be given more important jobs. I mean, some contractors, you give them work, they will control the dialing. Tomorrow they come up and task you to give them variation, that things are expensive because they didn't do the job. In less than 10 days, this road was done.
Another part of Imo State that has enjoyed NDDC's intervention is Oguta local government area. Here, the NDDC has commenced the rehabilitation of the road which extends from Oguta Motel to Ukuroji. The contract involves the construction of a 4-meter high culvert and realignment of a carriageway over the culvert. It also includes the construction of shoulders on both sides of the existing carriageway, with an asphalt overlay of the entire 8.25 kilometer carriageway. A major impediment to this project has been the rise of the Oguta Lake to an unprecedented level in the middle of the year, resulting in flooding of the whole area, leaving a situation whereby only boats and canoes can be used to move around the area.
Like this level now, during the time of the flood, you cannot see anything like this building, this culvert. The flood take over in fact, you cannot even see the people. If you're outside there, you can't see this structure anymore. In fact, the thing is above that Perry wood. So if they are doing it again, they have to take about 3 meters. They have to add 3 or 4 meters up.
The road stretches from the Kalabari Bridge, where the culvert is located, to Osu Obodo, to Ngbele. The importance of this project for intercommunal and interstate commerce among communities and towns have helped the people a great deal.
The road is going to be done in 2 phases. This Uguta Motel Junction, the road goes all the way to Ukwaji, which is Onitsha Road. So imagine a road that takes us all the way from here to Onitsha Expressway. It's a very important road.
A community leader in Oguta expressed his observations on the work done so far on this project.
In fact, the pressure is more than the project. The only thing that will solve it, if the government can raise it up to 4 or 5 meters, it will be above the length of the water. Then people living or people crossing, because this road you see, it leads to Eboma. Even from here, you can go to Bayelsa. From here, you can go to Port Harcourt. You know, you can cross the river to Mbudi, Onitsha Road. But during the time of flood, you can't see anybody. It's only canoe. People are walking with leg.
Still in Oguta local government area, the communities of Izombe, Awa and Ebizem had in the past pleaded with relevant authorities to come to their aid to construct a road that would traverse their communities. Ever since the NDDC commenced and completed the Amakofia Ibizem Road, the story of these farming communities has never remained the same again. The work on the 3.2 kilometer asphalt road with 3 kilometer concrete drains is 100% complete and now being used by the community to transport their farm produce to other neighboring communities.
Last 5 years ago, this road is motorable. You cannot access. Most of our people coming from Emako here to Izombe find it difficult to pass this road. But since 1 year and now, they are very, very okay. You can ask anybody around, they will tell you. They are very, very happy about this road. At least they have recommended NDDC by doing that.
The forensic audit, a revolution in the quest for national accountability.
The amount of money which the federal government is religiously allocating to NDDC, we would like to see the results on the ground, and those that are responsible for that, I think, will eventually be asked to explain certain issues.
The NDDC opens itself up for public financial scrutiny.
The forensic audit to all intents and purposes should be seen by all and sundry as the opportunity to assess our behaviors, our performances, our attitudes in the region. It is definitely not a wish hunt.
Every penny, where it went, how it went, to whom it went, all will be laid bare.
If the forensic audit is allowed to continue to its very end, it's going to unearth all this rape of our people, and all those ideally should be brought to book.
In 19 years of its operations, its different projects, their impact or non-impacts, the driving forces behind them, their justification, all will be laid bare.
And what brought the IMC? Atlantis is the forensic audit.
All the books are now open.
It is the totality of the rot that came to what we call forensic auditing, ordered by Mr. President. So my answer to all the questions, forensic, forensic, forensic.
The Forensic Audit, the NDDC Apocalypse, now on. Catch up on all the latest details here on NDDC Today. We're hoping that all those projects in Imo State will begin to impact on the citizens of that state. Now, NDDC, as you know, is comprised of 9 states. You know that very well. And people must be seen that the development across the region is equitable, that each state is getting as much as it contributes in oil production. The second largest oil-producing state in the Niger Delta is the Delta State, and NDDC has a lot of presence there. I'm sure you've never heard of a place called Abibrodo. It's in Warri North local government, and there the NDDC has a canalization project, plus other road projects. Our correspondent once visited Delta State.
Kokori, a supposed semi-urban city in Ethiop East local government area of Delta State, is a community where Brent crude oil deposits were first discovered in Nigeria in commercial quantity way back in 1958. With 62 years of daily crude oil exploration in this community and its contribution of petrodollars into the Nigerian economy, Kokori still cannot be described in any way as a developed community. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, no doubt aware of the plight of this community and their need for good roads, recently awarded and completed the construction of roads in 5 major streets in Kokori, some of them with double side drains to complement other existing projects of the Commission in Kokori community.
NDDC came to Kokori Ila to tie 5 streets and the extension of Anigboro Primary School, namely Ogo Street, Ekrudu Street, Akpojebe Street, Ekrose Street, and Ushwe Street, respectively. These streets are being tied by NDDC, including the extension of Anigboro Primary School.
Before the construction of these roads in Kokori, what used to serve as roads were deplorable, to say the least.
The streets, there were no roads, no tarred road before, but when NDDC came, they put much lights in this street and the other streets I earlier mentioned. It was NDDC who gave the 4 tying of the street. If not, none of these streets was been able to be tarred before.
Formerly, if somebody asks you that you take into Rogo, we don't even like to go there. But now, when we enter the street now, it's like we are in the a mini London.
The scope of these projects is a far cry from the people's demands and expectations, but the significance of the completion of these roads in these communities cannot be quantified.
Tying this street is a thing of joy to myself and the populace as well, because now that you see it add value to our houses that we own in all these streets. In short, it brings economic benefit to the people, not only using it, but others who are coming to Kokori via the entry route where these roads are linked to.
The newly completed road projects in Kokori has brought about better interconnection among the different quarters of the community, and this without doubt has improved the communal relationship among the people and beyond.
The road per se, it links from here to Ugeli, and that is where you have a lot of the oil facilities. So it's a very major road, translating from here to Ugeli, capacity to Asaba to anywhere.
Still in Delta State, this time in Ugeli North local government area, the NDDC has also intervened in an abandoned major intercity road which connects Agbara Oto to Orogun town. The Agbara Oto Orogun axis of the road had become impassable for motorists and cyclists due to its deplorable state. The road before its collapse served as the shortest route for motorists traveling from Ugeli to Abe, Abraka and beyond. With its intervention, the NDDC has given these communities along this route a new sense of belonging. Before the intervention of the NDDC, motorists and traders who use this road daily spent longer hours on the road, while commuters paid exorbitant fares on transportation to travel through other village routes in order to cut off Agbara Otor before connecting Orogun, Abe and beyond.
They pass through the Wiri Road to Orogun. Even some of the transporter, those people from Abraka down to Agbara here, when they are coming from Bush Market, they will pass through Awire instead of to pass through Orogu, to pass through Okara. But now they can pass it.
The emergency repair work carried out on the road has brought back the usual busy traffic on the Agbara Otor Orogun Road, thereby making movement of people and goods easier and faster.
Normally you cannot pass the road before. Going to Orogu is we can carry you 500, 1,000, but now when you have 300 they can carry you. If you have 200 they can carry you. But what we need small amendment on the way, that especially Okara down to Orogu, and that's what we need now.
At least they should try and put a drainage and a gutter so that water will fit pass out from the road.
The Agbara Otor Orogun Road facelift has so far rekindled hope of the many communities on this stretch of road. Records have it that about 2/3 of the riverine communities in the Niger Delta are geographically trapped in the difficult terrain of the Niger Delta mangrove forest, and access to most of these communities either by land or sea have remained a Herculean task in ages past and even till date. The NDDC, as a development catalyst agency, is gradually intervening in the opening up of many of the communities within the limit of its budgetary constraints. Over the years, the Commission's efforts in the provision of motorable roads, electricity, schools, cottage hospitals, as well as other infrastructure has brought about significant changes in the social and economic fortunes of several communities in the region, as many of the inaccessible communities before now have become a destination of choice for many rural seekers. Here is Abiborodo, one of the once forgotten communities in Warri North local government area of Delta State, the country home of Dr. Emmanuel Oduaga, former governor of Delta State. The journey to and from Abiborodo by boat is through the narrow water, channels and creeks that cut across this vast mangrove forest. In recent years, accessing Abiborodo became a Herculean task due to the challenges posed by overgrown mangrove shrubs along the waterways, creeks and canals.
And there's a road, but it's very narrow. It's a narrow creek.
To salvage the situation which had placed the livelihood of the people of Abiborodo on the downturn, the NDDC recently intervened with a 13-kilometer stretch of canalization along the community waterways. It even went further to open up the existing creeks and created other artificial canals leading deep into the mangrove. But for what purpose is this canalization to the Abiborodo community and its environs?
The project that they have done here has enabled us so that big boats that contain the wood that we used to bring the wood here, the opening of the river make it easier for us to quickly come to this place. Otherwise, likewise before, like the Benny corner, he had us to pull sometimes. But this open river has enabled us to bring the wood no money.
The completion of the Abiborodo canalization project is a major milestone that has aided easy movement of people and goods in and out of the community and other adjoining communities along the Sapele Bini rivers and beyond. The economy of the people of Abiborodo and its environs depends largely on fishing and timber lumbering in this difficult mangrove forest that has little or no access routes.
Fishing is our occupation here, and it gave us a link to other places for the fishing. Yes, and if, no, it's not only fishing. Even the 2x4 workers, they are the loading boats. So formally, they find it so difficult to go and curvail their 2x4 from where the site they work it. But now that the whole places is open, so it's free them, so they'll move freely.
The unwanted materials along the narrow creeks and canals over the years has posed dangers to mariners plying the routes from having easy rides with their small and big boats and canoes. What's more, the free movement in these waterways and creeks has given other marine activities the opportunity to strive.
The opening of the river makes the fish quicker for us to catch most of the time. So most of our net will not destroy because of those wood that they open the river. The opening of the river have benefited us much. And we thank NDDC for this type of work. And most of the time they should bring more of this work to us again so that we can enjoy NDDC in this community.
With the completion of the canalization project, the NDDC has now placed Abigborodo on the map of salvaged communities in the Niger Delta. A community that was once in dire need of accessible waterways and motorable roads is now happy to have gotten all this courtesy of the NDDC.
So while the big plans and the new roadmap are in place, the NDDC is still working and will continue to work as much as it has the capacity to do so. We know there's been many distractions recently, but the spunk of an organization is how you overcome all these difficulties and stay on an even keel. Well, we're waiting for the new roadmap, which will be unfurled by the acting MD, Professor Keme Barikumokwonde, soon. I will bring you details of that if you stay with us on NDDC Today. Thank you for watching. See you therefore, same time next week. Bye for now.